don't know how to explain this, but you're not gonna know what the thing is supposed to be until you start. You have to start. Like, whatever you think it's supposed to be, I promise you it's not. I understand. Let me hold your hand when I say this. Actually, no, I'm not going to hold your hand anymore because we're moving into action. Okay? The overthinking, the over planning. Are you an over planner like me? Yes, you're safe here. You are. But I'm going to tell you what you need to know. You're not going to know what the thing is supposed to look like until you actually start, because I promise you, the plan that you had 10 years ago, that you started, that you drafted, that is in your Word doc right now, that is in your notes app right now, I promise you the thing is not going to look like that at all once you start. There is clarity. There's the level of clarity that comes only when you put the thing out. And you have to put it out. Like, it has to go out. It needs to leave your Google Doc. It needs to leave your Canva draft. It needs to leave your notes app. It needs to leave your brain. It needs to leave your heart in a way. It's vulnerable. It's your baby. This is the thing that you've been sitting with. You've been praying. God has guided you, and you're like, okay, I feel good about this. But even if you're at 50%, you have to put it out, because I promise you, there is so much clarity that's gonna come from putting it out there. Like, that's the best. That's how you get feedback. That's the best research that you get. That's the best feedback and research and data that you could collect about your idea. I'm saying that because, I am currently working on a community archive. I'm building a community archive. I've had this concept in my mind for maybe 3 years now. It's taken shape in so many different ways. But in this current iteration, I planned for months. I spent a lot of time in my head. That's the thing. Like, you have to get it in front of other humans and just get it out and get it activated so that you can actually get some feedback. But in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, this is like how it's gonna work. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be, it's a fresh concept. I believe in it. I'm doing it. And then I started doing activations. I started tabling at events, and the thing is taking different shape. The words that are popping up are different. Like, I'm just like, so for example, let's be clear. I don't like to be around the bush, right? So for This Is Your Archive, my original thought is that it's all photography. First of all, I was limiting myself. So I'm like, this is like a photo archive specifically. Watch this. This is a photo archive where I put out a theme, or I show up in a community space and people submit pictures that remind them of that space. Okay. So for example, you're Afrotech and This Is Your Archive is at Afrotech. And we're like, share pictures of your favorite photos from Afrotech. And you send in pictures, 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 pictures. And so I was like, okay, let's do it. So here's the submission form. People submit. Crickets. Okay. Well, all right. I start tabling at events. I have art making activities for people, like with the same prompt. Hey, would you like to share something that reminds you of, you know, the prompt? And people were like, yeah, I want to make art. Yeah, I want to write a quote. Yeah, I want to share stories. I want to share, oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. Here are my thoughts on this. And they'll give me a 30-minute conversation. I'm like, wait, I don't have any method to capture this. Oral histories. I'm getting oral histories. I'm getting crafts. I'm getting art, original art pieces submitted by people. And I don't have a system to gather those, because in my head I said it needs to be a photo archive. People send in their pictures. But there were so many other opportunities to capture stories. I have a friend, and I was like, he's a fashion designer. So I'm like, maybe you want to submit pictures, or maybe you want to submit a writing. And he's like, actually, I would love to submit a video. I'm like, I didn't even consider that. Like, my goodness, you don't know until the thing is live. You don't know. You literally have no idea. And so that I'm like, oh my gosh, like I would have been limiting myself in such, like, there's like a thing, that's something that I would like to do some research around. Like, seriously, I'm gonna be opening a research center or something, because I'm like, how do people share stories? How do people yeah, recount their favorite memories? Like, how, like, what triggers that, what helps them, what brings them to that space? Because I'm like, if you're home and you see an open submission for the opportunity to share maybe some of your favorite photos of your favorite coffee shop or whatever the heck, you would think somebody would be like, "Oh, let me send it now." But no, I don't do that. When I see a submission form for a grant, I take a screenshot and then it's on my phone for a month, and then I forget, and then I remember again, and I forget. Like, but if I'm out and about at an event and you're tabling and you tell me make a little something that reminds me of my city, I'm more likely to do that because you caught me on the spot. You caught me on the spot. I get to sit down, I get to engage, I get to do art making, I get to do a little something, sit in conversation. I'm enjoying the music, I'm enjoying the vibe, and I'm talking. Oh my gosh, I love this place so much. It's been so great. And I moved here after college. I moved here after I got married, and I never left it. And here comes the oral histories, and here comes the arts and crafts, and the art making, and the community engagement. Like, and I didn't know that until I started. And I'm like, wow, that would have been such a missed opportunity. Because I'm like, do this while you're at home, but people are commuting to work, long work days, managing family, managing da 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 da. It's not as easy. And so with this project, and I also was like, yeah, put out the submission form and then I'll see you when I see you. But now I'm like, wait, no, actually I have to show up in community. I have to show up in public spaces. I have to show up where people are gathering. People are more likely to participate when you catch them where they already are, versus like planning an experience and maybe let's figure out how to have submission forms. And so, yeah, this thing that I thought I was doing, I'm like, oh yeah, just a submission form of people sending pictures. It has now turned into art making with kids, art making with adults, with families. Um, Also, still taking photos. There's still the photography component because they're happy to get their photos taken and they're happy to submit photos as well. But um, so many more mediums, because remember I said it's a photography project. It's a photography archive, and it's like, no. What if? Like, what if? And also, yeah, showing up in different spaces, um, showing up where people are actually gathering. I had to share that because, you know, this week, I get so many realizations every single day. But this week, another realization that I had is that, like, oh my gosh, there are so many opportunities to do research, like actual deep, intentional research about what it means to show up in community, what makes people feel safe to tell their stories, um, to engage, and um, neighborhood studies and civic engagement, civic belonging. You feel like you belong enough to show up to this thing, and then now you're participating in this thing and creating programming that can engage adults and children. I have a beautiful photo on my phone that I took while I was tabling at a hospital Juneteenth event, where it was like a little girl who's like 5 years old and she's like art making next to a doctor, and I was like, I did it, I cracked the code. But I didn't know that that was there for me. And I just wish I could have told like myself from months ago, like, girl, just launch the thing, just open the thing, because trust me, all the clarity is gonna come. Don't waste no more time. You've done enough planning. You've poured enough of your energy into the thing. Just put it out, because there is so much data and feedback that you can gather just by releasing the thing, you know? And so yeah, I pulled an all-nighter the other night, applying for 2 grants. Don't ask me how I did it. It's been 3 days and I'm still recovering. Like, that was rough. But the second grant that I was applying for, I didn't get to apply for it, but it was like a research grant, and I was like, oh my gosh, here I am thinking I'm doing a little community project, and people are doing my art making and send pictures, and then like there's like an opportunity to do actual deep research here, thinking about, again, community engagement, how people show up, civic belonging, and art making, and creative programming, and doing things that are engaging to people, and getting like, what makes somebody stop what they're doing to be like, let me tell you my whole life story. What space did you create for somebody to feel comfortable to do that? You know? Um, and so here I am, and I'm applying for this research grant, and it had nothing to do with the work that I'm doing, if that makes sense. It was like a bigger, like thinking bigger, thinking long term, and thinking about like, okay, I'm doing this project here. This is my pilot. How can I now take it to different spaces? How can I take it to different cities, to different towns, to different environments? What would it look like? Like, literally, that's the research that I'm doing. Like, what does this look like? Um, in a conference? What can we learn from it being at a conference? What can we learn from it being? What did we gather from hosting it at a festival? Because I'm telling y'all, I'm trying to go to Afrotech and Coachella, please. Imagine me having a. Because one thing about me, we have audacity around here. We gonna say the crazy thing out loud. Imagine me having an activation at Cannes. Lion? Lion? Oh my god. But yeah, Afrotech, Coachella, Cannes, we're coming for you. It's like, what does it look like in these different spaces, and what can we get from that? And that's some deep internal research that I would like to do. And I'm like, no, like I truly want to like give this grant funding to research students. I want to bring on team members to support the work and to help with activations. Can this live without me in the middle of it? That's how you know something is sustainable. Do you have to be there for it to work? I don't want this work to solely rely on me. I want it to live and breathe on its own. I have my special graces and magic that I sprinkle into it, but yeah, can somebody else do it and it be just as effective and just as engaging? So without getting into, without boring you with all that stuff, we can talk about another video. But yeah, I really wanted to make the point that there is so much like the thing with, like, this is what you're thinking right now when it comes to your idea. You're just like, yep, this is my idea. I've been sitting on it for 10 years. It's in my notes app. Okay. It's in the Word doc that I haven't looked at. It's on the sticky notes on my desk. I'm talking to you and I'm talking to me too. Don't worry. We're both here. It's, you drafted the Canva, you created the website, you bought the domain. I see you. You're right. I see you. We're looking at each other right now. You bought the domain, you have the website, you have the idea, but you never shared it with nobody. Nobody, not even a mentor, nobody. Okay? And then this is what happens when you start to share it. You share it with a mentor and they're like, oh, that's interesting. And then you share it on social media and like, oh, and then you share it with a friend and their friend is like, oh, and then you share it with members of people and it starts to expand. Do you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? I've gotten so much just by sharing my ideas with friends that I trusted, whose opinion I trusted, who I know believe in me, see something in me. And they're not yes men, right? You don't want people around you that are always going to agree with what you say, but they challenge you. Hey, what if you consider that? That's one of my videos. It's like sharing, I don't remember the title, but it's like share your vision with people, with your ecosystem. Go find it. But like, yeah, people that you trust, people that you can rely on, who want to see you win. Because it was from that maybe I tweaked something on my graphic that I was designing or in the pitch deck that I was putting together or whatever. So yeah, I just hope that this lands for you. Put the thing out. You're gonna gain so much. I promise you. It's not as scary as it seems. And you're gonna gain so much. You're gonna learn so much. It's gonna expand so much. You're gonna be so affirmed, like, oh my god, I'm onto something, I'm doing something, but I was thinking small. And I need to be thinking big. And you're not gonna do that until you put your idea out there. It's vulnerable, but it's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful space, and I genuinely wish that for everybody. You know what I mean? And I like, I'm not doing anything different. Like, yes, I have work ethic and I work impossible work hours that are to be questioned. But like, genuinely, I'm not afraid to put an idea out. I'm not afraid to be seen trying. That is what it is. I'm not afraid to be seen trying. I'm not afraid to be seen, hey, there go Lynn doing some milk. There go Lynn rebranding for the millionth time. There go Lynn launching the next thing. Like, I'm not afraid to be seen trying, because the more you do, the more information you get. And like, there is so much clarity on the other side of you sharing your ideas. I promise you, like, there's so much to gain, and it's gonna affirm you that you were onto something. And the beautiful thing also is, like, you might be like, wait, I'm not crazy, nobody else was doing this and I'm really onto something. Like, really, the realization, like, settling in your spirit that, like, oh shoot, like, I'm doing something. Okay, I'm doing something. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid to put that idea out there. Okay? All right. Y'all do with that what you will. Okay? And take it easy.